Hello, hello. I am Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at cwg.live. I'm going live now on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly Sunday Sunset chats. We've got a beautiful week ahead. Just getting this cold front out of here tonight. Some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder south of town mainly through this evening. Maybe a stray shower into sunrise, and then tomorrow morning the dew points go down to less humid levels. It's going to feel great by midday into tomorrow afternoon and for the rest of the work week. For refreshing breeze brings in tomorrow, maybe a gust 15, 20 miles per hour a few times, but this is from the northwest, bringing in that wonderful Canadian air tomorrow. And clouds are hard to come by after tomorrow morning's early clouds. Maybe again on Thursday, we see a decent amount of cloud cover. More often than not, during daytime hours this week, we are expecting mainly sunny skies and precipitation is going to be hard to come by, which is not necessarily great news for gardeners and farmers. But setting that aside, the low to no rain chances this week are going to be great for outdoor plans. So we'll, try and spin positive, but we'll update you in a moment on how things are looking in the drought department. And again, rainfall levels are very low for the next 7 days, a 10 to a quarter inch if you're lucky. And a lot of this is kind of included in tonight and early tomorrow morning. So over the next 7 days, maybe a stray shower Monday, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. And we're talking 5, maximum 15% chance for some raindrops. And as I was alluding to, the comfort is awesome this week. Lots of dew points after tomorrow morning, 60s. We're going down to 50s by tomorrow afternoon, and even some 40s pop in to the neighborhood for Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday as well. And it's really going to remain nice. I think it might be hard to even get back toward a 60-degree hint of humidity dew point until maybe up later into this weekend. Let's see, pollen and smoke are elsewhere in the atmosphere. We've got high altitude smoke moving out with the cold front late tonight, early tomorrow. Air quality is looking great to start the work week into the middle part of the week. Air quality is green and pollen is further below. I did do a detailed update yesterday at cwg.live, so check that out. But right now, wheat pollen and mold spores are high. As can be expected this time of year, they're kind of on schedule for bothering us fellow allergy sufferers. And let's see, what else do I have for you here looking ahead in the medium term? We have temperatures leaning below average, maybe into next week. This is 8 to 14 days out, so it could be hard to add to our heat tracker, which is right about average for where we should be this time of year. The number of days we've hit 90 degrees or hotter. Precipitation next work week, again, 8 to 14 days out. Maybe Tidewater, Eastern Shore might lean above average, but overall we have some near-term concerns, and the longer term, just abnormally dry here in the yellow. Drought is still not showing up in the longer term data, but in the last 30 days, we've had kind of a lack of precipitation that has really bothered gardeners and farmers. A lot of patches with below normal precipitation over the last month, and this means the availability of moisture in the top 100 centimeters, top meter of topsoil for crops, flowers, fruits, vegetables in your gardens or farms. It's getting a little strained, especially as you can see along the Potomac River and Chesapeake Bay. I've heard you that you need some more rain and moisture for your gardens and farms. So we'll keep watching this for you. There so far is not. There's a mix of news where we're not too worried, but not too optimistic either. So we need to watch this carefully week by week over the coming month, maybe 2 months. Now, tropics, right before I take your questions and comments, we've got the tropics are still pretty active. Fernand is moving to the northeast, out into the open Atlantic, away from Bermuda. Only a slight chance we see this disturbance near the Lesser Antilles. It's not even a closed low pressure system swirling just yet. It's still just a tropical wave down near the Lesser Antilles. We'll see if that develops into Gabrielle, is the next name for tropical storms. If the next tropical storm develops, it would be Gabrielle. All right, so we're watching radar tonight, just a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder south of town. Let's check your questions and comments on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. Let's see, 142 on X. Indeed, we're thinking upper 70s, a lot of low 80s this week, maybe some mid 80s tomorrow, still in the warmest spots. Ruth Elisa, hello, Patty. Yes, I wish we could get a little bit more rain with some of this delightful weather. And let's see, just 75 degrees for a high. We might have to wait further into September, maybe very late August. into early September, maybe I can give that to you. But we're still, even though a little bit below average, we still have to wait for the averages to come down a little further into September. Dave, good evening. Let's see, worried about lack of rain over the next 10 days. You're not alone. And vegan, thanks for tuning in on X. Gorgeous weather on the way. Please enjoy it. And Amy, the dew point in the low 50s, maybe as early as late afternoon tomorrow on Monday, and even 40s dew points coming Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday as well, Amy. April, hello. Indeed, we need the rain, but I agree with you. We're looking forward to the awesome outdoor recess days at your school. Excellent. And Mike, nice sunset in the valley. I will keep trying to do the rain dance for you. And Mike, you have a slightly higher, maybe 20% chance of seeing some raindrops this week compared to others in the region, thanks to the mountains, hills, and valleys around you might add a little bit of local dynamics to create some clouds and raindrops for you there locally, hopefully in Shenandoah County. And Paul, let's see. Wow, you're in Pennsylvania instead of Purcellville. Good to see you, Paul. Good driving weather later tomorrow for sure. Yep. And Steve, hello in Culpeper. Wow, you got a quarter inch of rain from this line of rain today. Good job in Culpeper getting a quarter inch. Uh, that's about as good as you're getting in the region, so well done. Enjoy the weather. I'm glad you're pumped up this week. And David, good evening. And Amy, you're most welcome. And Saucy on X, worried about the dry weather. We just recovered from droughts. I know we have a little bit of hypervigilance because we were kind of in a drought watch for about a year, but let's just take a breath. Nothing urgent. Luckily, the sun is lower this time of year. We're outside the strongest evapotranspiration needs for plants. Agriculture evaporation is not as high as it would be in June and July with the lower sun angle. So, just that's some context for you, Saucy. And Liz, hello. And Rick, great sunset tonight. Please send in those pictures to our Flickr or share them at Capital Weather on our social media channels. I'm also live at cwg.live, our blog 24/7, anytime you need us. I'm Kim Walker. Our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A will be on our final holiday Monday next week in 8 days. For Labor Day evening, you'll see me in 8 days for the final holiday Monday edition of our Sunset Live Q&As. Let's see, we've got on Instagram Kelly and Zara and Carly and Michelle and Rachel and Matt and Kim and Glenn and MR and Megan and Pewee fan. Gorgeous sunset. I'm hearing great things about the sunset. Wish I could look outside. Jesse and Ehab and Blue and Leslie and Trisha and Lockie and Doug and Bright and Mother and Barb. Good to see all of you on Instagram. And thanks so much for this awesome sunset. Please share on our social media channels where following us at Capital Weather or even on the blog and on our Flickr page. CWG also has a Flickr page as well. All right, radar below shows that cold front moving through. You're lucky to get some rains out the town. This might be all we see for the next 7 days. A lot of us just getting maybe a tenth quarter of an inch was a stray shower, maybe a stray storm over the next 7 days. Very little rain. We are monitoring the situation. We'll talk about drought in a second, which is yet to show up in the data, but we are still going to keep an eye on things. Wind tomorrow, let's say a light breeze, maybe a gust 15, 20 miles per hour out of the northwest. That brings in that dry, comfortable Canadian air. Still a little bit warm tomorrow, maybe some mid 80s in the warmest spots. But clouds after the early morning are hard to come by. Dew points are dropping. All of that atmospheric moisture is dropping by midday into tomorrow afternoon. This means fewer clouds, low, if any, rain chances at all for most of this week and comfort. Dew points are just really going to be falling into the 50s, if not 40s this week. It might be hard to find a hint of humidity at times, according to our dew point emoji scale below. Maybe next weekend into maybe next work week, we start seeing kind of hints of humidity more regularly returning. So this all goes together. Low rain chances, sunny skies. Maybe we do see some clouds on Thursday. Maybe that's possibly our highest chance for a stray shower or storm day. But it remains to be seen. It's going to be hard to hunt down some raindrops this week. Over the next 7 days, it's really just a stray shower storm if you're lucky enough to see it, and not amounting to too much. Elsewhere in the atmosphere, we've got smoke that's moving out and pollen that is probably still sticking around. We've got high wheat pollen and high mold and mildew spores, but air quality is looking great. This is high altitude smoke, so I don't think we'll even see much haze this week. Air quality is going to be green. So great news in the smoke department, mixed news in the allergen department with my fellow allergy sufferers as we get toward the fall. Mold, mildew, and weed pollen are going to come together to make us feel less than great at times. Now, looking into the medium term, we're looking at 8 to 14 days. The temperatures are with a slight probability leaning below average, perhaps for yet another week. That might make it hard for our heat tracker to add any more days. Not that I'm complaining, right? But we'll see if we're at the average for year-to-date number of days where we see 90 degrees or hotter. 34 is where it sits now, and right average year-to-date is 34. So maybe we start falling behind, which is cool. I love that. I'm good with that. But our average last 90-degree day, I want to say, is in that, depending on where you are in the region, it's like roughly September 8th to 11th. So we still have time to add on to our heat tracker with number of 90 days where we've seen 90 degrees or hotter. And precipitation, sorry to say, gardeners and farmers, not really looking great either way. Maybe if you are in the Tidewater, Virginia, or the Eastern Shore, Delmarva, you have a slight probability for above average precipitation next work week, again, 8 to 14 days out. But this brings to mind a drought check really quick. So far, no official drought for long-term strain on agriculture or hydrological systems, but the yellow here indicates abnormally dry. And part of the ingredients behind this is a lack of rain over the last 30 days. This is the precipitation, percent of normal precipitation over the last 30 days. Far more locations with below average precipitation, very below average precipitation compared to above average precipitation. And this is showing up in our lawns, in our gardens, and our farms, especially along the Potomac and along the Chesapeake Bay. The topsoil, the top 1 meter, 100 centimeters of soil is very dry. That's the easiest place for crops and our gardens to and our lawns to get their moisture. And we're seeing some strain and some dry topsoils in the region. So keep that in mind. Even though drought is not showing up in the longer term, we're going to watch it. Tropics are still active, but luckily no imminent threats at all to the United States. Fernand is moving out to sea, north and east, moving away north and east from Bermuda. And that tropical wave they checked out down near the Lesser Antilles Islands, just kind of north of South America's coast there. It's not a closed low right now, it's just an open tropical wave, but it still is going to produce some gusty showers and storms for the islands. So they'll watch that at the National Hurricane Center. If that does develop, though, with a slight chance over the next 7 days, it would be Gabrielle. That is the G storm, the next named storm on the list. All right, let's put up radar one more time while I take your questions and comments. Underwater, Ladrina, E. Fabry, Mary, and Rubrics, and Keelan, and Francois, and Ogan, and Sama, and SMDC. Thanks, and Egos. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. We've got Lucia and Steve and Rice. All right. And good person is saying, let's go with the great weather. Can I do fireworks really quick for the great weather? Maybe I'll do thumbs up to get the reactions. There we go. Fireworks for a good person, 7429. Loving and excited about the weather this upcoming work week. It is a major highlight. Barring if you don't need the rain and you're able to water this week, your gardens, your lawns, your farms, we're gonna enjoy this week. Great for outdoor plans. And I think I've caught up on Instagram here. And oh, Charlene, Wallops launch Monday after 10 p.m. should be pretty visible. I think sky conditions are looking pretty good for that. And Mike, I haven't seen a huge signal for a drought just yet, but we're watching the short, medium term signals week by week. We're gonna have to monitor things. All right, David, fireworks. We like that for the great weather. We'll do more thumbs up for the fireworks this week. And I thought that we could, if I did two of these, we could also get balloons going, but that's all right. Let's see. Carl, thanks for tuning in. And Ruth Lisa, it's not looking wet for this week. Stray shower storm at most. And Barbara, great golf weather. Excellent to spend that way. I love that. And Liz, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. And Ruth Lisa, summer went fast. I agree with you on some ways. Luckily it was not a horrible so far, not a horrible August with heat and humidity. And so I'll say no indication on winter just yet. We need to watch things, but there's a chance as we get closer, forecast confidence will grow, but seasonal forecasts are very difficult. So give us until around Halloween to really gather some longer term data for you. And David is also thinking summer flew by. Hi, Charlene in central Pennsylvania. And we've got Carl. Uh, I don't know about ice this winter. I think that is on the table. Everything's on the table for this winter so far. There's no correlation between summer weather, our current weather, But I can tell you the signals for September, October, November, those 3 months are looking like above average for temperatures. And yep, Carl, I agree. August was not brutal. All right. Oh, Skywalker Beth, have a great trip. Luckily, there should not be any flight delays based on weather. Fingers crossed. And Skywalker, I hope you can enjoy this week while you're here. Before your trip, Pete Sullivan, Dina, and with love, thanks for tuning in. Nick, and Trivia, and Shorebath, and Tina Sama as well. And Jamie. Excellent. All right, let's review things one more time. I'm on the air another 4 minutes. Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at cwg.live. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. Remember, our final holiday Monday tradition is coming up. Next Monday in 8 days is Labor Day Monday. You'll talk to me in 8 days rather than our typical Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat because of the holiday Monday, the final one of the year. We're at Capital Weather on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. And of course, 24/7, anytime you need us at the blog. All right, breezes tomorrow. They're light but refreshing, bringing in that drier air from Canada. So please enjoy a couple gusts, 15, 20 miles per hour. Clouds are limited this week during daytime hours. Maybe Thursday is our cloudiest day. Perhaps a stray shower storm possible Thursday, maybe slight, the highest chance is Thursday. I would say 5 to 15% chance at most this week. I don't think many of us are going to be seeing precipitation. Overall, very sunny, very comfortable. And sorry, gardeners and farmers, we've been saying that it's great outdoor weather, but we're going to have to stay on top of our watering needs this week since precipitation hard to come by, very hit or miss, very, very light and minimal over the next 7 days, a tenth to a quarter inch if you're lucky, again over the next 7 days. So in the short term, we need some moisture. We are not going to have it in this forecast. That's the only slight negative to this forecast, but comfort is huge this week. After tomorrow morning, we will be dew points in the 50s and maybe even some 40s for the rest of the week. So, don't wake up too surprised if you see a quick stray shower, some clouds, feels a little bit humid early tomorrow morning, but it's coming. It's going to be a great work week with the comfort levels. I think a hint of humidity at most next weekend. Going to be hard to get to dew points around 60 again anytime soon. So please enjoy that. And then elsewhere in the atmosphere, we've been highlighting smoke is behaving and pollen is a mixed bag. So first and foremost, the smoke animation here showing high altitude smoke, luckily moving out with this cold front tonight. And that is going to produce lack of haze. We're going to have nice bright blue skies overall for at least through the middle part of this week. That's about the forecast skill for these smoke weather models. So green air quality at the surface where we're living and breathing. That's excellent news. Smoke should make it to the surface at all. So blue skies, lack of haze, great air quality. And then pollen, I did write about yesterday at the blog. But generally speaking, weeds and mold and mildew are the two biggest offenders to my fellow allergy sufferers. So please be aware that is going to probably continue for the next 2 or 3 weeks, at least. So please, if that's what you're allergic to, take precautions. All right, temperatures for next. This is medium term, next work week, 8 to 14 days out. We are probably, with a slight probability, I should say, leaning below average for temperatures, and this could make it a little bit difficult to add any more days anytime soon to our heat tracker. 34 is the number of days we've hit 90 degrees or hotter this year. Look at that, average year to date, 34. So we've hit our average. But I'll caution for those of you like me who don't need any more 90-degree days this year, we have not passed our average final date for our 90 degrees or hotter days. And that's typically our last day for 90 or hotter is kind of September 8th to 11th or so, depending on where you are in the region. Precipitation for next work week, again, 8 to 14 days out. Maybe in the Tidewater, Virginia, and the Delmarva, leaning above average, but I don't want to get hopes too high. We are abnormally dry. No medium, or long-term drought just yet showing up in the data. But let's talk about what we're experiencing, okay? So in the yellow here, abnormally dry. I think that will probably go with most of our gardeners and our farmers in the audience here. You'd likely agree that you've also seen low amounts of precipitation over the last 30 days, and the number of spots with below average precipitation far outnumber where we've seen above average precipitation in the green. So there's another medium-term issue over the last month. More dryness than not, and it's showing up in soil moisture readings. So the top 1 meter of soil, where crops, lawns, gardens are all pulling most of their moisture, that's getting pretty dry along the greater Potomac River Valley and along parts of the Tidewater and Chesapeake Bay. So this likely matches and is a reason to keep watering. As we saw the next 7 days, precipitation is very limited in our region. A quarter inch at the luckiest if you do see a stray shower or storm this week, but a tenth of an inch is more reasonable, and even that is going to be hard to come by. This is very hit or miss stray showers and storms over the next 7 days. All right, last and least for now, since there's no impacts of tropics coming our way, we have Fernand moving off out to sea north and east of Bermuda. Slight chance for that tropical wave, not even a closed low when they investigated it this afternoon at the National Hurricane Center. We'll see if that develops into Gabrielle as it moves into the Caribbean Sea, but it's unlikely as it looks now. All right, that is my time. I will leave you with the comfortable dew point scale, 50s and even 40s for dew points this week. Please enjoy it. Lack of rain is the only negative here, but comfort is super high with lots of sunshine. Try and get outside and enjoy the lack of humidity, the comfortable warmth. David, I'll see you on Labor Day. Indeed, our next Sunday sunset chat will actually be our Monday, Holiday Monday edition in 8 days. I'll see you in 8 days' time. Thanks for tuning in, Chris, Alex, McCraft, and Zach, and Nori, and Sarah. Let me make sure I have no outstanding comments and questions on, let's see, Amy and low dew points, yes indeed, and Nicholas. Tomorrow morning is going to be roughly like plus or minus 60 degrees within a few degrees of 60. So a little bit humid still, but it's going to dry out by midday and tomorrow afternoon. All right, David, I'll see you and Ruth Elisa on the Holiday Monday edition. Final Monday, it's the final holiday Monday of the year for Labor Day, indeed. So see you then, Ruth Elisa, Stephen. Yes, enjoy Amtrak running, hopefully without weather issues this week as well. Flights should be okay this week without weather issues, fingers crossed. And you have a great week, Dave and Carl. Good to see you as well. All right. I'll see everyone, and Pewee fan, you're most welcome. I'll see you on our Holiday Monday edition, Labor Day Monday in 8 days. We'll do our Sunset Live for the final Holiday Monday of the year. See you in 8 days then. I'm Campbell Walker signing off. Anytime you need us.